I'd like to call to order the City of Belton Planning Commission session for October 7, 2025. Could we have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Shutt,
Here.
Commissioner Crate, Commissioner McDonough, here. Commissioner Ruggles, here. Commissioner McPherson,
Here.
Commissioner Christensen, Commissioner Walton,
Here.
Councilmember Pryan,
Here.
Mayor Larkey.
Here. And I will add that Mr. Walton was on time. For the record.
So our first item we will have is the approval of the minutes from our, actually, this is the November 4th, I'm sorry, I said October 7th. This is our November 4 meeting, and the first item is the approval of the October 7 minutes that have been printed and distributed. Are there any corrections, adjustments?
Motion to approve the minutes of October 7th, 2025 as presented.
Second.
Second, all those in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First item that we have, or the next item is new business. Item is presentation of PROJ 25-006, a request from TCG and CPG LLC for approval of a rezoning of 3 parcel totaling 0.87 acres from C2 general commercial to R3 multiple family zoning for use of existing 2-family and multifamily buildings located at 301-321 B Street and 308 East Walnut Street. And Ms. Fernandez.
Great, thank you. An application was filed to rezone 3 lots from C2 general commercial to R3 multifamily on the northwest corner of B Street and East Walnut Street for the purpose of utilizing the existing duplexes and apartment building. The lots totaling 0.87 acres are adjacent to Scooter's Coffee, duplexes, single-family, and commercial businesses. Currently, there are 4 duplexes and an apartment building with an auto body shop attached, totaling 16 units total, located on the subject property. The property owner is requesting to rezone the property to R3 multifamily to allow the continued use of the residential properties and bring them out of legal non-conforming status where they're currently in. And in doing so, the auto body shop would then become legal non-conforming. The current 2050 Comprehensive Plan Future Land Use Map designates this area as mixed use. The proposed rezoning and land use brings the property more in compliance than the C2 zoning designation that it currently has. And the rezoning also aligns with the goal of providing more housing units downtown. With that, staff recommends approval of the application for rezoning at this location with the 1 condition listed in the staff report. I'm here for questions, and the applicant's here as well.
Is the applicant here? Would you like to speak, or did staff cover everything? Anything additional you'd like us to know? If so, if you'd come to the microphone here and state your name so we can get that on the record.
My name is Devin Wilson. I think she pretty much covered everything. I don't know if it matters, but it's CPC. I don't know if that's how it goes, anyways. But I think she covered everything. We just want to use it. It's mostly a family area, and so there's 1 building there, the last one that's not renovated, that we want to renovate to make the block more beautiful and to fit in with the rest of the homes that are fully renovated. So we want to be able to bring that last house into residential 2 units, and I think it would fit well in the neighborhood and better than being a business because there's not as much parking, which would create more of a hassle for the people around. So we think making it residential would make the city look better, would improve the area, and just provide more good housing for people, which is our goal. So.
We'll open the meeting, or open a public hearing, and ask if there is anyone that would like to speak either in favor or in opposition.
I don't know you yet, but I'll meet you. My name is Mindy Hicks, and I've lived there for almost 8 years in 301. And I would like to know that we're going to be safe there as residential and know that, you know, it's a good neighborhood. And I'd like to keep it the same.
Ms. Hicks,
Yes.
can you
Sorry.
please write your name and address, just to make sure I have it correct in the minutes? Thank you.
Is there anyone else to speak in favor or in opposition? None, we will close the public hearing and open it to the council. Commissioners, any questions, comments?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Donna?
So we're gonna, the car thing that's there is gonna stay the way it is?
Yes, if the property is rezoned to multifamily, then the auto shop becomes legal nonconforming, which means that it can stay in its existing condition until it leaves, and then something could not go back in its place of the same type.
Okay. And we're talking about the house next to Scooters is the one that's not in the right zoning?
The entire block is zoned
Okay.
C2, so we would be rezoning the entire block
Okay.
to
I'm with you
R3.
now.
So instead of individual buildings, it would be the entire block.
Yeah, it would be all 3 parcels
And
on the
that's what
block.
would cause then the auto shop to be.
The auto shop is actually connected to the apartment building, so there wouldn't be a way to actually rezone that separately.
Okay. Mayor?
He mentioned something that was wrong.
Was it
When
the-
you came up, I just want to make sure we have something wrong.
It's the LLC should be TCG CPC instead of
You guys are
CPG.
okay.
So
All right.
we have it correct in the system,
Okay, I
just
just
a
want to
typo
make sure,
there.
that's all, I'm good,
Thank you, Mayor.
I'm good.
All right, any other comments,
So,
questions?
I got another question. So if the auto body shop ever comes empty, what's his plans to do with it?
So it would follow the legal nonconforming regulations in the UDC, which means essentially if their business license isn't active for a year, then something of the same type can't go back in. So then you would be allowed to use the space under anything allowed under the R3 zoning district. So they could expand the apartment building, they could put another housing unit in there. You could do anything under the R3 zoning.
Okay, but would they have to come back through us again?
Yes, for any new building or addition or anything like that, yeah.
So with the auto body shop being legal nonconforming, could they alter anything in their body shop now? Or what's the restrictions on that?
Yeah, so legal nonconforming properties can't expand, they can't do additions, they have to basically stay within their existing footprint.
Okay.
They could do interior remodeling, exterior remodeling as far as it's not changing the footprint, but
Yes.
nothing.
They can upgrade utilities and do other things in there. They just can't expand the footprint or the intensity of the use that's there. And just a little bit additional background, the reason why this came forward is the applicant recently acquired the property, and there's an existing duplex on the corner of B and Walnut that has been vacant for a number of years. So based on that, because of the C2 zoning, since it's been vacant for longer than a year, they were not allowed to rehabilitate that for residential use. So that's why we are going through this process, is to make the multifamily the predominant legal use there, and the auto-oriented use the legal non-conforming use. So we're basically just flipping it from commercial to residential.
Other questions or comments?
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion we approve project 25-006 as presented.
Second it.
Motion and a second. Any final thoughts or comments? Could you have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Shutt,
Aye.
Commissioner Crate,
Aye.
Commissioner McDonough. Commissioner Ruggles. Commissioner McPherson,
Aye.
Commissioner Walton,
Aye.
Councilmember Pryan,
Aye.
and Mayor Larkey.
Aye.
Appreciate that. And Mr. Wilson, appreciate your desire to help improve our area as well. And thank you for bringing this to us. Moving on to our next item would be presentation of FMP 25-001, amended request. This is a request from KAM Design Group LLC to approve an amended final development plan for the previously approved Quick Stop gas station at 1645 North Scott Avenue. And we'll ask our director, Mr. Wright, to present this.
Yep, thank you, Chair McPherson and Commissioners. Before you this evening is an amended final development plan for the previously approved Quick Stop gas station at 1645 North Scott Avenue. This was the location of a former Domino's, which has been vacant now for 6 or 7 years. And the Planning Commission approved the development plan back in April to expand the existing building and add 8 fuel pumps to the site. After putting the project out for bid, the applicant determined, based on contractor feedback, that the Domino's building was not salvageable, which I think there were questions about that from the commission back in April. So they have arrived at that determination, and with that have brought forward an amended site plan, essentially keeping the building the same number of fuel pumps. It's just we're rotating the building and oriented the convenience store facing North Scott as opposed to facing north. So overall, a little bit more of a common, typical site plan. All parking requirements are still met on site, and I think access around the site is also improved with this plan. Building design is the same, gas canopy remains the same. Landscaping is also improved. There's a little bit additional areas for landscaping that have been provided. So overall, we think it's an improvement on the site plan. There still are a few modifications that are needed to accommodate this, which are the same modifications that were provided for last time. One of those, though, that is removed is the south side setback, which is no longer needed. So all setbacks have been met. They still will have the 18-foot deep stall widths or stall depths, landscaping in the right-of-way along North Scott, and then a decrease on the monument sign. There is one modification here that doesn't meet the code. They still have the sign up here. Previously, they had it down here with a 3-foot setback, which we approved that modification. They do show it up here with 5-foot setbacks, however, that's still within a 10-foot utility easement, so that is one of the conditions. They will have to relocate that outside of that utility easement as long as they're still with, meeting at least a 3-foot setback from anywhere else from the property lines. The only thing I will note is the photometric plan. There are some sections of the photometric plan where we have a maximum of 1-foot candle from the property lines. However, they do exceed that. Just based on where the light poles are. But however, we believe that those are acceptable because they are still facing inward and they're downcast, so they're not shining out on street or adjacent properties. So that's the only other modification. We believe that that lighting plan still meets the intent of the code. And obviously, a lot of these facilities may be up to a 24-hour, so the security is important with the lighting. And I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Questions, comments from? Sure.
So on the site plan, they had it located up here at the northwest corner, closest to 155th and North Scott intersection. However, that there's a 10-foot utility easement along the north property line that they will have to keep the sign out of. which puts that into the pavement area. So our recommendation would be that they come back down here, the southwest corner, which is where they were originally located. Additionally, they don't have any parking here, so they have some room to even add a little bit more green space at that corner to fit the sign in. No, there's plenty of setback there off of the actual street.
If I recall, some of the discussion was about the ingress and egress onto North Scott. Does this change anything as far as their drive coming in and out? Is that going to,
The access point stays the same for this, and then the restrictions on the turn movements still remain the same because the drive is still located in the same spot. However, vehicles maneuvering through the site, it has more of a circular route than previously. All the traffic had to pass by the convenience store to get to the gas pumps. So it's a little bit easier to separate the customers who are just coming to the convenience store from those that are just coming to get gas.
getting onto North Scott will not be any different? It'll be what we had already discussed, but.
Correct.
Okay. Any other questions, comments?
Chair, I'd make a motion to approve FMP 25-001 amended request as presented.
Second.
Thank you for the second. Any final comments or questions? Seeing none, could we have the roll call, please?
Commissioner McPherson?
Aye.
Commissioner Walton?
Aye.
Commissioner Shutt?
Aye.
Commissioner Crate?
Aye.
Commissioner McDonough? Commissioner Ruggles?
Aye.
Mayor Larkey?
Aye.
Councilmember Pryan?
Aye.
Thank you. Next item would be an update on our Unified Development Code. Director?
Yeah, our consulting team has completed the public engagement phase of the process. The survey closed back in mid-October, and they've compiled all of the survey results to take that into consideration as part of their drafting. They've started the drafting process. The first thing that they've done is taken a look at the table of contents and how the code can be better rearranged based on how it's utilized. As part of that, there are some existing chapters within the UDC that will likely be removed from the UDC and brought into the Code of Ordinances. So those include the building and fire codes, property maintenance codes, and water and sewer codes, because those typically are not part of a zoning code. And so then it's just strictly focused on the zoning items. Those things will be referenced in the Code of Ordinances, which also makes those easier to make amendments to, as opposed to the Unified Development Code, which goes through a full 75 to 90-day process for those amendments. Once they've kind of established that, they will start from the top of the table of contents, working their way towards the end. So the first thing they'll be looking at is the processes and procedures, where that can be kind of streamlined to make the process a little bit smoother, and address some of the things that have regularly come up through our processes and procedures over the last few years. So stay tuned for any updates on that, but we are still looking at probably having a full draft, hopefully sometime late winter, early spring, that will be brought forward to Planning Commission and Council as part of a workshop, and then there will also be a community meeting for that.
What kind of response was there on the survey? Did they have a pretty good response
I
rate?
believe it was 143 responses, which was more than we
Good.
anticipated. So I think having that shared out on social media really helped attract some attention to that, and it was also in one of our citywide newsletters that went out through an email blast.
Our next item, Director, any additional items to report?
No additional items. We do have upcoming meetings scheduled Tuesday, November 18th, which we do have an application to bring forward that evening, and then Tuesday, December 2nd. Nothing on that calendar yet, but it's still we're still within the time frame where we could receive some applications. And that's it.
Any other items from the commission?
Second.
Second.
All those in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?